Alright, what are we doing? We are installing a new fuel pump. So, as you saw, the old one was, well, it was due for a change. So I have all the bits and pieces here. In this box I have the new fuel pump. I got this off eBay. Quantum Fuel Systems, it's I believe an American company. It shows here made in Ventura, California. And it's supposed to be a straight swap with the KTM's original, so it's an aftermarket part for KTM, and they give you a lifetime warranty. So I guess that kind of speaks for itself and how good this thing is supposed to be. And it comes with a bunch of stuff. I thought I'd have to reuse so these are the old rubber seals, and it comes actually with a bunch of new parts. So it comes with new rubber seals. It also comes with a new spring that's in there. So I will keep the old stuff just for future use, in case one of these parts happen to just go out, or even for another bike, I will just keep those. But it's nice of them to include extra hardware. So we have the brand new filter, well, the strainer, and then another filter in here. As you can tell, this definitely looks a lot newer than the old one. The old one looks like it hadn't been changed in ever. And then we have the pump. Now I did test this last night, and it's a nice looking thing. So we're going to put this in. There's a manual, but we don't need that. So this is the part you would usually see bolted to the bottom of the fuel tank. What I did was just clean it up as best as I can, and I soldered in some new wires, because the old wires they were finished, they were brittle, because of just years of sitting in fuel. The wiring was just old and falling apart. So I put in some fresh wires, soldered in some new connectors as well, just to make it easier. Okay, now without wasting any more time, let's see if I can remember how this thing goes back together. Should be straightforward. We have these external plates. Took about an hour to clean these, get all the rust off, and then I soaked them in 2T engine oil, 2-stroke engine oil, just to keep them from flash rusting. And they look good. There's no rust buildup. So yeah, hopefully that stays rust free for some time while it's in the tank. Have some zip ties here in case I need it. Some Teflon, just because I noticed that a lot of the behind almost all the rubber seals on this bike, there was a bit of Teflon tape. Now, anyway, let's get into it. So, first things first, let me put back. What I usually do in cases like this is I start with all the parts that I have clear recollection of. So, if I know something goes somewhere, I start with that, and then I figure out all the bits and pieces that are left behind. So I know that seal goes there. That seal goes there, and this bit sits in here. I have a screw holding it. So that comes out. Don't want to lose that. And then this, I believe, sits here just like this. So because everything has been cleaned out, I didn't have any oil, so I should have. It doesn't hurt to put a bit of either silicone spray or just a bit of oil on this. I'm going to figure something out. Well, you can press it in as well. Well, you don't want to force it in too much, otherwise you might risk damaging the seal, but luckily it goes in just like that. And I'm just going to wiggle it around, make sure there's a nice tight connection. Okay, that is in. Okay, so already one part down. I'm not mistaken, which I know I'm not. This is now where the filter sits, right in there. I believe there was a washer. You're going to have to give me. When in doubt, go back to the pictures you took. There's a reason we take photos of everything. That way, in case you forget what goes where, you have a reference. So, that being said, I'm not mistaken. I believe one of these rubber washers. One goes on this end. Now this piece has two washers. I just want to compare the sizes. that is what. Now, these washers are two very different sizes, but I don't want to replace that piece because it's definitely worn out, so I'm going to find the next best thing, because this piece has, you have a washer here and here, and the ones that it came, they're definitely finished. So I want to compare. I do have a box of washers here, although these are a bit smaller, 1.5 millimeter, and these might be 2, they might be 1.5 as well. Well, I have these just in case. Anyway, time to stop procrastinating. So this spring, I recall, sits right there, and then the pump just sits right on top of it. Now, I believe there was a rubber washer on this. Then you know it, because I don't have a spare. Question is, do I want to put one on? Would it help seal, or would it just make a mess of things? I think, instead of using one of the new ones, I'm going to use one from here. And it doesn't say whether or not it should have a rubber washer, but I'm thinking I might as well include one, just for a nice seal, because right now it's just kind of playing around, and if I'm being honest, I think I recall it having a washer. I just don't know what I did with it. Now, that is definitely two different sizes, so maybe this. No, not working. Bear with me. Okay, so I made a bit of a mistake that I'll have to fix tomorrow, because I don't have my soldering iron with me. So when I threw in these new lines, I put new connectors on, and the issue is when the connectors are on the pump, if you see here, there's not much space. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, well, what I've already done is cut off the tail of one of the connectors, and I'll do the same to this tomorrow. And so this will go in there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just solder the line at a 90, like this. That way I can still plug it in, but I can still plug it in, but it will also have enough space without the wires having to bend at wrong angles, because it just wouldn't fit in there. So yeah, also I attached this on off camera. Straightforward, it just snaps on, because I needed to check. I had to see if this plate pushes this up a bit to give me more space, but it really doesn't make much of a difference. So yeah, tomorrow I'll, because where I am right now I don't have my soldering iron with me, and which is annoying, because when I was leaving the house I kept looking at it. It's like, nah, I'm not going to need it. And now I need it. Anyway, I'll have to save that for tomorrow.